Rodrigo brings the real estate development lens. Ravi has experience in real estate investment and advising investors. Lynn, you and I got to speak yesterday briefly, and you are an investor as well, and I believe you've got a fund, and then Calvin, you were a designer. So I'd love to just appreciate the different lenses that we're that we're bringing together for this conversation. That honestly I didn't expect coming into a summit on physical AI. I'm not sure if any of you guys were surprised to see that's on the agenda as well. But so I'd love to hear, just with the various constituencies that you represent, who you speak to and work with on a day-to-day basis, what are you hearing from your constituencies on how physical AI seems to be changing the conversation for them? Calvin, how about you start?
That's a great question.
But just hold on.
Yeah, that's a great question. My office, I'm surrounded by creatives, and I think there's, we have events. We just had an event that was sponsored by a crypto company, and so it's a very interesting intersection of creative people and technology, and we have in our space, we have creative directors who work with animators and sell anime shows to Netflix. So it's a very, and I think we live in a time of increasing polarization and between the haves and have-nots. So people increasingly, with technology, they're doing really well with it. I think also there are a lot of people that are like behind it, and creative people, artists, and Austin, one of the problems that I've been working on is, people come to a place and then what attracted them in the first place is destroyed. So we're witnessing where, South by Southwest, which started as like music and film, but now it's taken over by technology and there's no music anymore, which is really shocking to me. And so a lot of my work is sort of trying to create a bridge and embracing AI and technology, but at the same time, the humanistic aspect, and maybe finding a place for that.
My point is, for AI, ever since ChatGPT started, we all shut, right? We started using it. So in terms of last 2 years, technology evolving, in my phone, I have a list of all the apps we're using. But I really feel like to really make it practical to our day-to-day life, make it big differences, we got to figure out how the way to integrate the physical AI with actual application. The application of AI is more important than anything. Because people talk about AGI, when will that come, how they affect everything you do in your life, your job. Everyone feel really intimidated by what AI will do. So I feel like if we know how to manage or adapt or be able to work with physical AI controls, actually for every single one's life, we do investment, how that affect what we do in our day-to-day life and work, and how we see a lot of political conflicts, everything. So I feel this is going to make a huge impact. I really like the slide when we say, either it was you or someone to say 2025 is a year adapt. So I really feel this year probably mark one of the tremendous changes we see everywhere. So we all stand up every day to adapt it and to look at ourselves and work to see how we can be better at it. So I'm very positive with all the things coming along.
So yeah, definitely AI is kind of changing a lot of industries. And even if take any industry, even real estate space, not only on the how the AI being applied to, whether it's the way that construction side or the buildings and all that stuff, but also on the even just the marketing aspect of it, right? So without AI now we can't even really do anything. So that's so many things, right? It's going back to this point, it totally transforming, and it's really helping how we operate, how we really make the overall impact, and in terms of our bottom lines or in terms of overall our experience
Yeah, I mean, I think from the real estate perspective, it's, I think our industry tends to be a late adopter to technology, and I think we need to do a better job to adapt to these technologies. I mean, everything is just so moving so fast that we need to keep up, especially, I mean, just talking about data centers and everything that's happening over there, and physical AI and manufacturing. If also as real estate professionals, developers, and investors don't keep up with it, then that can somebody will. So we need to be ready for that.
Are you guys seeing actual deals that are, when I think of physical AI, I'm thinking data centers, I'm thinking advanced manufacturing, robotic facilities. So actually, like, in some ways, real estate is the most relevant industry to be impacted by physical AI. So how, can you talk maybe using specifics or real deals or examples of how the conversation or the opportunities are changing because of the unique opportunity that these actual land, and the physical needs in the physical world are different. If you're talking about, commercial real estate and the SaaS revolution, like, there's not really that much difference between how an office is used if it's a SaaS company or not. But obviously that's really different when you're talking about advanced manufacturing. So just talk about maybe a specific example of what's different for you in your world now relative to some of these companies or projects.
So, I mean, I'll give a concrete example. I was visiting a manufacturing and logistics site up in Georgetown, and this was a client that just built his warehouse, his 200,000 square feet. And he, before it had a clear height of 20 feet, and then he went up to 33. And he was able to lay out his parts area a lot more efficiently. And he integrated a lot of robotics, just because, I mean, I think that's a really, really clean application on how to be more efficient on picking out the parts. And there's, I didn't know about this, there's specialized consulting firms that design these type of spaces in order to make this work. So, I mean, that's just, some examples. The other interesting part is that he was also concerned on his workers, because he was going to need less workers now because there was going to be more robots in the manufacturing plant. So it's also kind of on their side trying to balance those two aspects, which also brings another interesting comment there. But yeah, there's a lot of different applications.
I'm not necessarily directly involved in the physical AI space, but I'm also invested in tech companies. So I would say big chunk of deals that I'm seeing now, somewhere AI is involved, and some of them could be physical AI, some of them are not, but nevertheless, that's pretty much what I'm seeing right now.
I can give one example, how traditionally when we think about real estate, how the dark factory automation will change it. I have a client who is building a advanced manufacturing factory. So I went all over Texas looking for a site. Simple, right? 200,000 square foot and 24 clear height, all that. Eventually, we find out a lot of those big boxes, two walls not working. Here's why. Traditionally, you see on page 35, you see 200,000, 300,000 square foot of warehouse. They build just exact same thing, right? 25 foot clear, column, all that good stuff. But for this particular client, because of automation, because of that factory, material going on one end, what's coming out, the car will come out the other end, right? So there's a efficiency that has to be considered during this manufacturing. It doesn't matter you manufacture the car or a machine or different type. The client will have very specific footprint they're looking at. For him particularly, the guy is like a 12 foot wide and he had to make a circle. So it's very particularly about the layout of the space. So in the end, our conclusion is that he had to build on his zone, because there's really not a ready-to-go site or build-to-suit will fit that in. So I think for real estate, and lots of people were doing, if you consider building a manufacturing factory or facility, keep that in mind. Instead of just building one and have to think about how be able to adapt for the future changes. And I'm working with another client coming in, we run into the same issue. Because, sorry, my phone just rang at the wrong time. Traditionally, US has not really been involved in a lot of manufacturing since the 80s. So our older buildings have very low clear height, will not be the current one. So if someone wanted to come in with specific requirement, we run into the same issue here. So that's my personal experience.
Yeah, I think we're still in the beginning stages of AI. I think there's still a lot of opportunities. You know, if you look at, in terms of real estate, the way the brokerage companies operate is still kind of a good old boy. There's still we haven't really seen the benefit of AI, the efficiency, you know, and also like, in terms of like governmental agencies, like the coordination between municipal, county, state, and federal level, there's still a lot of confusion just on the policy level, that hopefully maybe AI can help coordinate. So I'm hopeful that will happen.
That's a really good point, because there's a mindset challenge. I feel that in like a traditional commercial real estate type of environment, that is not it's not an early adapter of technology. How have you noticed kind of some of that tension play out between, the folks who are looking for space, or, they have incredibly complex needs, but like kind of collision with a kind of colliding into an antiquated way of, not antiquated, a more traditional way of thinking and doing business. Do you guys have examples of that?
I give you an example. I think AI really created an equalizer, knowledge equalizer. So in the past, very specialty, right? You're an architect. There's civil engineers. There's someone doing facility designs. And you have a client looking into zoning entitlement, finding all the info. I started realizing, and every time I go to the meeting, before you go in there, people start using AI already done some research. They come in with a piece of paper or notepad, and they will say, here's my report, what do you think about it? This morning I actually got the same thing. I have a 20-acre in the end, we're designing an office warehouse. I went straight to AI, sorry. I should have called architect. I was like, okay, well, in the zoning, what can we design on that? Typically, I would call commercial broker. Say, I have CCM, but I don't do my own transaction anymore. So I use a commercial broker. I say, hey, I either can do very high-end product, or I can go to the low end, get the leads really fast. Which option? I run into 3 different LLM, and they come up with a different option. I send it to my broker, guess what I did. So what I'm saying is, I really see this equalizer for the knowledge. But still, everybody, like architects, do have a domain knowledge we're respectful. But the good news is, in terms of when clients looking for sites, when clients looking for different uses and different factories, that may give everyone knowledge, but still, as professional, you still have a lot of opportunity to bring out expertise, give a guidance, and make that work. But I feel that creates a huge amount of opportunity for everyone to be more efficient, more effective.
Okay, well, I would love to hear from you guys on what's exciting to you in terms of your personal business, or how you're looking at the future. And of course, as always, I love specifics and examples. So, Rodrigo, you want to go first?
So, I mean, we develop on both sides of the border, and as I was mentioning in the presentation, just the intersection of the AI and industrial real estate development. I think we need to be really aware of the new technologies that are coming online and infrastructure needs in order to get ahead of it and be really smart. I mean, also as smaller developers is also hard to compete with bigger developers that have a big amount of resources and can really train their employees, but it also takes time for them. So as small companies, we need to be a little bit more nimble in order to execute and get ahead of this curve, and also capitalize on these opportunities that I think the nearshoring and AI is going to bring.
Yeah, I mean, like both of you guys pointed, it doesn't matter, it doesn't need to be a big company or a big group or anything, even handful of people, couple of people, you can still go build crazy big businesses because, like you said, it's equalizer, right? It's really changing. I never thought that we were going to really do a lot of AI-based, so many things that we're doing today. But most of my team, they're all using AI, 100% every day. So that is really helping us. How do we market it? How do we raise the capital? How do we really go find the deals and underwrite it and so many other things. So definitely this is changing crazily and it's in a good way. And then it's going to really help everybody whoever embraces it versus afraid and then not really use it. And if they don't use it, they are usually fall behind and they will have challenges in evolving and growing. So.
When I was in Delhi, looking at this forum, this conference, I feel like lots of people got intimidated by it. They're like, hey, I'm not even technology. All the technology, all the tools, everybody got intimidated. I feel the opportunity is there, but if I have to give a word to everybody, pick the things you really feel comfortable with, and pick the things you don't feel good as a consulting basis, but don't get intimidated, like say, try to solve one problem at a time, but be careful when you use it, and make lots of mistakes too. One of the project I remember, actually used AI because the prompt, there were some issues. It cost me probably, it's $100,000 mistake. Okay, it's a huge mistake. I'm probably underplay that, but there's definitely, be careful when you really use it to the point where say, I can replace an architect or do whatever. It's a really expensive mistake, but don't feel intimidated, use it. At the same time, be cautious when you actually use it really yourself. And the practical way to see what part of your job and project or investment would be able to help you be more efficient.
I went to an Autodesk design conference about 5 years ago in San Francisco, and then Autodesk did a demonstration. There were a room of about 150 artists, architects, and interior designers, and Autodesk showcased their AI technology, and they used a demonstration project in their own headquarters, and it generated 15,000 options, consider everything, solar orientation, logistics, the way people work, and the designer, they were horrified, they were literally crying at the end of it, because their industry is almost over, and that's part of the reason why I'm also doing development and construction, so that comes to become more vertically integrated.
Yeah.
But I think to your question earlier about what I'm passionate about, I think I'm a little bit concerned, like with the technology, there are lots of smart people working in AI in this space, with society moving forward, but there are a lot of people getting left behind, creatives, and I think I'm very passionate about doing culturally driven projects. So with the artist studios, we're working with NS4 out of New York, and they're one of the top 5 hotel hospitality groups in the world. And so we've been in conversation with 21C Museum Hotel. They had made a proposal in 2008. I reviewed the project when I was in design commission. And so there are only 8 in the US, and they're not in major cities. So every hotel has an museum, and it's only new art now, so they're, you know, so I think that's kind of a perfect partner for us. And so I'm excited about, you know, projects that are needed, and to your point about people, it's not about, you know, a particular category of building types. It's more people are looking for new ways of living and forming communities. And I think that's a very interesting challenge for all of us.
I didn't expect to end on such a human note. I love it. It's a really beautiful kind of resolution to everything we've talked about these last couple of days. So in interest of time, David, I want to make sure we're being respectful of the calendar or the clock. So help me thank these guests, and we'll give it to David to wrap up.